Hello everyone, this is Infinum here, and today we'll be looking at which Galactic Legend we should go for first. We have only 4 options at the moment. We only have Jedi Master Luke, Sith Eternal Emperor, Galactic Legend Rey, and of course Galactic Legend Kylo. So you can see that I already have Kylo on this account, but I'm chasing another ones. But I do want to open up with all of the other options first, and then I'll talk about Kylo, who I feel like is the strongest Galactic Legend to go for first. Which, I'd be somewhat biased off, and I'm pretty happy with this investment regardless. But let's talk about Jedi Master Luke and let's get him out of the way. This is an excellent acquisition to get for more experienced players, veteran players that have been playing the game for a lot longer than the newest ones. So, for example, I've played the game for a year and a half, slightly more than that at this point. And I'm nowhere near the Jedi Knight Luke requirements. I'm actually building towards these, as this is who I want as my second GL. Issue aside, but some of the characters that you're getting here, you probably got throughout your 5-year journey between Legendary Event JTR, Legendary Event 3PO over here. There was these 2 marquees, which could be the last 2 to get in time. Jedi Knight Luke, one of the newest legendaries that was released to the game. Jedi Knight Luke, one of the strongest characters there is out there as well, so makes this requirement really good. R2, another legendary. Han, raid character. Chewie, legendary. Rebel Y-Wing was released soon. So, his requirements are very strong. However, that Jedi Knight Luke makes it very difficult for the new players to go grab Jedi Master Luke. However, this character makes a lot of pathing progression in regards to, if you've been playing the game for a long time, very easy to grab this guy, because if you were building a decent roster up until that point with the efficient legendary characters, you could absolutely get this guy as a payoff. And why is he decent? Well, for starters, he requires you to get Jedi Knight Luke, right? And when you have Jedi Knight Luke and Jedi Master Luke, that is a threatening, most devastating combination that you can use in light side territory battles, which is a mega plus in regards to what Galactic Legends you're going for. Dark side TB is nice, but light side TB is where the stuff is at, because in Dark Side Geo, phase 4 is the only difficult one. In Light Side Geo, every phase is difficult, so you gain a lot more territory points for the completed waves by having these characters available for you from the get-go. So having GML makes a lot of sense, and GML will be amazing once you pair him up with other decent Jedi. And Jedi Knight Luke, you can throw him in another team, and you get 2 of these Jedi squads that can do 4 out of 4s pretty consistently. So Jedi Master Luke is an amazing character for that reason. He's also in the most popular teams in Arena that you find out very often: JKR Lee, General Skywalker, Wat Tambor, Jedi Knight Luke, and of course your Galactic Legend, Jedi Master Luke. So he's a very strong character. In raids, he also works well, in particular the Crane Core, in regards to getting up to 6% damage in P4 and P1. There's a few comps that can do that, but in regards to HSTR and stuff, there's no one that gets close to Kylo. We'll talk about him later, but I feel like Jedi Master Luke is an amazing investment, and that light side TB part really seals the deal, as of course is having Jedi Knight Luke as part of his requirements, so you're always going to have these guys hand in hand together, and every bad Jedi or something like that, you can just plug and play with Jedi Master Luke, and he's going to be decent. It's not going to be the best team out there, but it's going to be decent. Certainly better than Sith C, the trash Sith. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I want to talk about Rey, and we go from light side Geo to another light side Geo plus. And Rey, she has a very awkward state in the arena meta. And the arena meta, I want to get that out of the way first, because if this is your first Galactic Legend, you need to be very worried about the arena, right? And the thing about Rey is, if you use her with resistance, that's not going to cut it. That team is very poor in regards to Kylo First Order, in regards to Sith Eternals. It's a very poor team to be using when they can expand their rosters with characters that are as powerful as Darth Revan, with their Sith Eternals, who are outside of requirements, by the way. But, you really need to use some stuff out of requirements like JKR, and JKR is easy to get, but General Skywalker is very often used with Rey, Jedi Knight Luke is very often used with Rey, and do you have either of these two? Depends on your situation. And Rey really benefits from having those light side titans or light side powerhouses to boost her up in a way where she can really help them out as well and make a whole of an amazing light side team out there. That being said, she can absolutely obliterate past any other Galactic Legend on offense. She's the one that has the least concerns in climbing in arena in regards to what kind of variety comp you're facing. You can just use her with some different kind of light side teams and just beat everything. Like, you can beat Sith Eternal with one comp. I should probably make a video on that one. We'll see that later. You can try to beat the GMLs, very difficult battle, and the Kylo Rens, you just use the gas cheese with Rey and she'll be fine. But again, gas cheese requires you legendary gas, legendary Han or Raid Han, and legendary Chewie, and really thick 5s that you should have if you have General Skywalker anyway. So but Rey is very strong, and in light side TB, if we're talking about the Mega Plus that GML had there, Rey is the easiest character to do 4 out of 4s with in light side TB without destroying any of the teams. So just using this Hero Finn, Hero Poe, Holdo, JTR combination is going to absolutely tear apart Geonosis and whatnot. It's ridiculously good. In TW and GAC, this comp is very anti-Vader, very decent, so you can always get away with that. And if you want to slaughter in with like Holdo and other trash resistance, she's not too bad. She's not as great, but it can save you to do JTR bros and eventuality some droids that you plug in there like BB-8 and whatnot. And that team is super strong. You can actually defeat a lot of cool things with it. Between Padmes to Darth Revens to JKRs, now those go a lot more in depth than I can allow it to show, but I don't know, maybe I should practice around with JTR versus DR. But it's very possible to beat Padme. It's very possible to do a lot of cool things with JTR and the Hero Bros. They allow you to do massive punch-ups. These guys at Gear 8 can beat Gear 12 Gias and Bounty Hunters, so that's a problem for another day. Rey, amazing GL. I think she's also a very fine investment. However, I feel like as a first Galactic Legend, she doesn't hard counter anything in the arena. Anything in the arena can counter her, so you still drop relatively a lot, and she's still, you know, Vaderable, which isn't too bright. And then we have Sith Eternal Emperor. Sith Eternal Emperor is more often than not, the first GL that I see people wanting, and I need to address this issue. Sith Eternal is not the first Galactic Legend you want if you are a newer player, and the reason for that is that a lot of people will go for Sith Eternal, a lot of people will go for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Not really 50-50 in that balance, but the people that go for Supreme Leader Kylo Ren will be chilling at the top of the arena for a lot more than Sith Eternal. And the reason for that is quite simple. Kylo Ren on auto beats Sith Eternal for 30 seconds, and you know, your team just keeps dropping. Another issue for that is that a Relic 7 Vader can beat your Sith Eternal Emperor too, so people with GL counters will be able to climb through your Sith Eternal, and you can still drop a lot overnight. Now, that being said, he's still a Galactic Legend. He's very likely 4th, 5th most powerful character in the game, so he's always a good decision, always a good grab, but there is better grabs that I feel like there are out there. In regards to GAC offense, I think Sith Eternal Emperor is a really good GL. I think he's a really sick second GL, for example. But I think in regards to, for example, GAC solos, you can use Sith Eternal plus WAD and do a lot of cool things, like putting tank tech, and then you can solo or just duo the raid squads, or just duo GML squads. Very strong character. With armor, he can actually beat SLKR as well without using the ultimate. So that thing works out as well. But the really big issue about Sith Eternal Emperor is just, you know, you want to put him on defense or something, right? And you have to use him with like your Darth Sidious or your Darth Maul, or you have to sacrifice your Sith Triumvirate team, or you have to sacrifice your Sith Empire team, and that's even worse. And those are not easy calls to do, and therefore he's a Galactic Legend that always needs to be on offense, because on defense he just gets Vadered incredibly easily. And there is no real comp to stop a Vader. Most you can do is put in Nest, and you can stop the Imperial Trooper counter. And Nest is another character that you'd have to gear up, and you'd have to sacrifice your solos in GAC if this is like, you know, what you would be concerned in regards to Sith Eternal. Raid-wise, he's also not amazing. He's by far the worst of the characters in raids. So in Crankcore, maybe you can do 4% in P1 by using him with trash tier Sith, because the other Sith don't really elevate him too much either, while Rey with Jedi can do amazing, while GML with Jedi can do amazing. while Kylo with First Order can do amazing too. So even raid-wise, he's not as strong. Best Darkside GL for TB though. In Darkside GOTB, kicks us a lot harder than what Kylo does, which is pretty decent. But I wouldn't value that over what Kylo can offer though, because what Kylo offers is amazing. You get to use his requirements with him. One GL that does that, other than GML, who uses like JKL, and that's about it, unless you want to plug in Hoda. Another thing that these requirements add to you is that they're actually giving you two usable First Order squads, where you can slot in one with Supreme Leader Kylo and the other you kind of just have left over, and that's not terrible. I mean, if you're using Phasma Lead, it is, but it's not the worst. You can get some use out of these guys. It's not like Resistance Pilot level tier, so there is something about these guys that is decent. But most importantly, everything comes down to Kylo, right? And Kylo in Arena, with this First Order stuff, can do really well in regards to beating Greys and beating Sith Eternal Emperor, of course, on auto. Against GML, it's actually possible to use First Order. There's a video that I'll link at the very end in regards to how to beat Jedi Master Luke with Supreme Leader Kylo. That is very possible in the First Order. However, you can even plug in like Darth Revan and whatnot, and that's still not the biggest issue. If your arena chart has a lot of GMLS, though, Kylo won't hold too well, which makes him slightly weaker in that situation. Lightside TV also doesn't count into factor. It's just, just that pure last phase in Darkside TV, where you can do a little bit extra where your other Darkside teams don't. So, in that regard, I don't feel like TB is too valuable. In raids though, oh my goodness, HSTR solos for days, which is great because it gives you a chance at getting top 10. Top 10 can give you G12 pieces, G12 plus pieces. You can get some other gear, really good stuff getting the solo on HSTR. It just really boosts your gear wise. If you're not scoring top 10, maybe you don't notice it, but if you are, you absolutely notice that, like, all of those wristbands and whatnot, they accumulate so well into either conductors or something. You always get use out of those pieces, for sure. So Kylo Ren, amazing to have for raids, and Crankcore is also one of the highest damage output characters out there, which makes Kylo Ren, in my opinion, top tier in regards to which GL you want. You get his requirements, use his requirements with the Galactic Legend himself. You're not destroying any other teams, and he's super good in the game. He's even near broken. Very near broken. Really good though. They had to address the whole Crankcore issues around SLKR can't solo and stuff, and actually made it pretty easy for a lot of guilds to start clearing the raid too, so that was actually not too bad. Right now, there's actually a soft nerf on him in regards to leaving ultimate, and then he has the ability on cooldown, whichever last ability used, unless it was the basic. That one can't. That one doesn't have cooldowns. But yeah, Kylo Ren is very strong with the First Order. So in regards to what to choose, if you're a veteran player, I think Jedi Master Luke is fine. That being said, I didn't say this before, but General Skywalker is almost mandatory if you want to run this guy in arena. Really good to plug with Jedi Master Luke. And for veteran players, since you have all of the legendary characters and whatnot, very easy to just go in after Jedi Knight Luke, go after Jedi Master Luke, and collect all of the Lukes, have a really nice light side team. Rey, I don't feel like she's as strong as Jedi Master Luke. If you have to choose between Rey, I don't enjoy it as much. Purely because your roster is probably not big enough to really utilize Rey to her full potential. In regards to Supreme Leader Kylo, I think you just plug him in with First Order and he will do well. While Sith Eternal, though, my complication that I have with him is that he doesn't provide a lot of raid damage. His arena, he's the easiest GL to counter as well. It just doesn't feel like a worthwhile reward. Now, what I will say, this is an absolute parenthesis on the whole video, is if you are starting the game right now and you're only building your Phoenix, if you only work on these requirements and you ignore JKR, you ignore Darth Revan, you ignore everything else, it's actually pretty damn efficient to go for Sith Eternal Emperor first, as long as you have a Relic 7 Vader to carry your way in Arena while you're building towards your Sith Eternal. And actually in early game Arena, The TIE Bomber with its Empire fleet can actually do really decent damage in squad. It can, or sorry, in fleet, because it can compete pretty well with the Negotiator on offense. So it isn't the worst GL to go for first, but again, other people are going for Kylo Ren, and your arena rank is going to drop a lot with Sith Eternal Emperor. In my shard, that is relatively young. There's a lot of Kylos, there's a lot of Sith Eternals, there's a few Reys. All the Sith Eternals get drowned. The people that have Kylo Ren and Sith Eternal always leave Kylo Ren overnight, and Jedi Master Luke haven't popped around yet. So in that situation, I do feel like Sith Eternal Emperor isn't really at an advantage in arena, which, you know, at some point is the most important, and you're getting a lot of blood throughout, you know, Sidious and Darth Maul and Railguard. There's a few characters in here that you really wouldn't want to upgrade. Krennic. Really not. But yeah, that will be for the video. Tell me what your thoughts are on the best Galactic Legend to pursue first. I think Kylo Ren is ahead of the competition by a mile. However, Jedi Master Luke doesn't feel like a bad investment for older players, given that he probably geared up these characters at some point. And Sith Eternal is really, you know, I think it's like his basic. He deceives people, and I don't think he's a good first Galactic Legend. I've heard a lot of regret between people that got Sith Eternal Emperor first, and I hear a lot of happiness about people that get Kylo first, like me, for example. I have zero regrets on this guy. While Sith Eternal is always like, there's a little bit of a lackluster feeling with him that maybe some people can talk about there in the comments if you guys went for Sith Eternal Emperor first, and leave your experiences, because I feel like, I don't know why, but a lot of people feel like Sith Eternal Emperor is the best first GL. I think it has something to do with Vader being a requirement and he's great, and with something of the Imperial Troopers being extremely overrated in this game. Like, they can do a really nice, cool things in regards to GL counters. Piet is amazing, but like, they're not the biggest thing out here. Like, but if I had to consider between Imperial Troopers, or you have to consider between some other rebels that you have in these requirements, or an amazing JTR team, you know, there's some ponderations that need to be done there. But of course, they're also strong. Not saying they're not, but it's just the fact that that just makes up like 5 of the requirements. Vader is one that you wouldn't mind with R7, Piet, the other 3 Imp Troopers, and like Thrawn. You wouldn't mind these. JK Relic 7 is another great character, but you wouldn't care about that unless you have the Negotiator. So that's what I feel about the first Galactic Legend. We can talk about second GLs. I think Sith Eternal Emperor's viability there gets a huge boost up as a second GL because of what he can do on GC offense and stuff, and what he adds to the roster isn't that bad, in my opinion. But as the first GL, I wouldn't really go for him. Kylo, though, oof, really good guy. Really, I think he's a really amazing choice for first GL. So tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. Also, huge thank you, because we just hit 200 subscribers. Thank you so much. Always appreciate you guys. And if you liked the video, please leave it a like. If you want to subscribe and see more stuff like this, please leave a sub down below. Always appreciate it. So there you guys go. That's my thoughts on the first Galactic Legend, who should it be and whatnot. But please let me know. What do you think?